What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at the St. Vitus basement, and we are here with Matt of Blacktop Mojo. Thank you for your time today, man.
Absolutely, brother. What's up?
Yeah. Not much. It's awesome to have you here.
Glad to be here, man.
Yeah. So your newest record is Under the Sun. Do you just want to give like a rundown on how the making of this record was, the recording, songwriting, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, man. So this is the first. This is our third album, and we got off the road last year. And this is the first album that we've gotten to make where we were doing music full time, to where we didn't have day jobs or anything like that.
Congrats.
So, well, thank you. And we all live in the same house together, so we basically just locked ourselves in our house for like 4 months and wrote and recorded and did a bunch of stuff, and then went to track it for another couple months. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Being that it is your third album, do you at this point have like a usual formula or usual go-to mode in songwriting, or has the making of every record been its own experience?
It's every song's different, man. It's all different pieces that start it. You know, it could be a guitar riff or a drum beat or anything. I mean, that kind of start it, and then we all just kind of get together and jam and kind of figure it out.
Interesting. Do you so you don't really have like a preconceived idea on how you want an album to sound? There's a lot of improvising involved.
Definitely a lot of improvisation. We're not smart enough to plan that far ahead, I don't think. Yes, yeah, we just kind of let it happen, man. Yeah.
I've noticed with this particular record that there was almost kind of like many different vibes in each song. Like I thought Get Your Code had a different vibe from like Keep or something like that. So it's fair to say that like the making of every song, not even just every album, is kind of like a new experience, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Do you have to like put yourself in a certain element in order for like creative ideas to come through, or do you just sometimes get inspiration out of nowhere?
Well, usually, you know, it helps to be sad if you're writing a sad song, or like, you know, angry if you're writing an angry song. So it's good to, for me anyway, it's good for me to draw on that kind of stuff for lyric-wise, for sure. And then, you know, if the lyrics or the melody don't come first and it's a guitar riff or something like that, usually it will maybe spark some kind of memory or emotion or some kind of experience or something I've observed from somebody else's life or something like that, and that's kind of where it comes from, I guess. Yeah.
To get the exact lyrics, do you need music in order to come up with lyrics, or does sometimes like a lyrical idea can determine the music itself?
Yeah, could go either way, man. Like I said, it's kind of sometimes the music comes first, and sometimes the other way around, for sure.
Do you like to leave the lyrics open to interpretation, or do you try to maybe get the listener to sort of see things from your point of view?
A little bit of both, man. You're asking. It's pretty wide open, man. Like a lot of people. There's a few songs here and there where people kind of, I guess I don't know what the word is, but they throw their own meaning on it, and they kind of glean from it something from their life, and I think that's cool too, man. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, it's about this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Don't be a preachy vocal.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When it comes to, this is going to be my first time seeing you guys live tonight. When it comes to playing your material live, is it a completely different energy than songwriting, or is there maybe like a usual method behind the madness?
There's definitely a different energy to it. I think the crowd's kind of a little bit of a like sixth instrument, I guess, if you will. Like I mean, it's kind of there's something that adds to those live songs and live performance and everything. For sure, yeah.
So you feed off the crowd's energy as much as they would feed off of your energy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to like the overall songwriting process, is there ever something that does have to sort of come first, or you kind of mentioned that every song like had a different approach?
Yeah, they all have different approaches, man. They all kind of happen at different times too. It's just all pretty random, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Locking yourself in the same house with all the band members, I mean, did that at all influence the sound itself at all?
It definitely influenced, I think, musically on this record. Kiefer, our guitar player in particular, got to be very meticulous with a lot of the riffs and a lot of the layering and stuff of the guitars, because he could go back and do it over and over and over again. Whereas albums in the past, it was kind of just we jam it out, and then you'd have that short span of time where you're actually tracking, to where you can kind of figure everything out and add layers and things to that. But this time around, he kind of got to make it, more his masterpiece, I guess. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And I'd imagine that being locked in the house together prepared you guys for tour, right? Being locked in the same house for a while, is almost like being locked in the same van or
Oh
bus.
yeah, on the bus together, in the house together. It's we all actually have our separate corners of the house at home. So like we all have our own room. Like nobody's piled on top of each other at home. But yeah, we spent pretty much this whole year out on tour, so it's been interesting. It's been fun. We get along with each other, so it's really not that big a deal, man. Yeah.
And the final question I wanted to ask you is this is always the hardest question for everybody to answer.
Okay.
How do you know when a song is done?
Whenever you track it and put it on a CD, so you can't change anything about it anymore. But even then, actually, I think there's a few songs that we've added stuff to live, and even after they've been recorded, so they're never done. They're never done. You're always listening back, like, man, what if we did this here?
And I'd imagine that you do that on the live presence too, right? You don't try to execute the material exactly how people are hearing it on the record.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's always fun to change it up, man. You play the same song every night, then yeah, you don't want it to get boring,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Is there just anything else you would like to promote for Blacktop Mojo with the Under the Sun record cycle?
Come check us out, man. We're gonna be on tour a lot next year for sure. We get home off of this tour December 13th, and then we'll be going back out at the end of January again. So
Awesome.
come check out the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Everybody, Matt of Blacktop Mojo. Be sure to pick up Under the Sun if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.